Hey y'all, CB here, the No BS welder at NBS Welding, and what we got right here, my buddy brought me a dump trailer to work on. We're getting around the back here. I can show you what's wrong. Pretty typical. You have hinge issues and cracking here. Uh, these doors, they get opened up, and you know there's things nearby, or they don't stay latched, or they swing open while you're dumping, or different things happen. You get this metal fatigue occurs around these hinges. They start cracking, and pretty much all of them, even the ones you don't really see, probably have cracks. You get down there and look, and you pretty much find cracks in all of them. There's also an issue with this hook right here, and that's an important hook because it holds the door back. Could be a big reason why that one hinge has got the worst damage. This thing might have been being held back and got dumped and got the door messed up that way. Also, he's got these guards. He sticks these in the ground next to his stump grinder sometimes to prevent sawdust from flying to a place where maybe against somebody's shrubbery or against a house or whatever. But they're on the end of them where he's been sticking them in the ground, and the ends of the pipe are pretty thin and just not working out real good. He wants some rod welded onto the end of them, something solid to jab in the ground. So let's get this thing in the shop, and we'll figure out what we got to do here. Obviously, to start out, got to get rid of this powder coating, this thick paint that's on here. I'm not going to grind. I'm going to just power brush the best I can, and I think I can weld through the rest of it. So I'm just getting started out by power brushing around the hinges and power brushing around these hooks. And the thing about the hooks is right where the hook's welded to the tailgate section, I'm seeing where there's some cracking on the round bar of that hook. So we're going to be doing some repair there. A big part of this, and something that my buddy mentioned, is he was saying, man, when you weld them hinges, make sure you got them doors adjusted where they'll shut good. And that's a big deal with these things because they can be a real pain to shut if they're not adjusted right. And that shot of video that you could see right there, you might be able to tell that the back of that, when you look towards the back, the tailgate door is on an angle, and when I'm trying to close it with my fingers, it's not closing all the way with just normal pressure. And you look at it where those two tubes are contacting one another, and it's binding up. It's just out of whack. They get out of whack like that, and the thing's got to be worked on. Right here you can see, I mean, the angle of the door and the angle of the bedside of the trailer is just, there's a big difference, it's not even close. So I've got out my precision adjustment tool. I quit fooling with them wooden handles a long time ago. I made this probably a decade ago and haven't needed to replace the handle since. No matter how mean I get with it, this baby will hang. I've got a piece of angle iron clamped up here where I'm going to make an adjustment, and I just got the angle iron there as an extra softener, so that I don't do too much of a dent in the actual tailgate section itself. And this is risky what I'm doing. This is the kind of thing, sometimes you fix things in 30 seconds and people say, boy, that looked easy. But yeah, it took me 30 seconds to fix it because I spent 30 years learning how. This is something that, if you go too much or not enough, you'll be unsuccessful. And knowing how much it takes to do, it just takes time and experience, and you gotta get in there and mess things up to some extent, on things where you can get away with it and learn, and you'll learn how to apply force in a relatively short period of time and correctly, where it actually repairs things and doesn't damage them further. We're looking better, looking a lot better here. I'm liking it. And then, you know, we want to open and close it, and I can see, like, when I go to close it now, just light finger pressure, and it goes where it belongs. It's going back where it's supposed to be. So it's time to look at the other one. And I can see right here on first glance that when I look at the latch, the one on the right that's got the latch, it's too high. That should be coming in. That should be coming in below where that'll latch. And then when we look at the bottom, we are getting the thing to close with just finger pressure, but look at the gap in the bottom. It obviously, I'm just saying that this needs to go down. Something has tweaked that has got this one where it's gone up. And then I want to look at how it's lining up with the tube that the hinges are welded on. And, you know, I go to close it, and it looks to me like as it's far back and at the top with alignment. And then as it goes down, it's getting further towards the back. So there's a bigger, I can see more. When I look at the bottom, I can see more of that one tube. I think the top of this one needs to go out too. And we're going to make an adjustment on it. It's not going to take a lot for that. You just got to hit it right and hit it with the right amount of force in the right spot. And then we'll take another look and see how we're doing on adjustment overall. And what I'm seeing here, you know, you got to kind of work it, use it, take the pressure off of it, and then push it back together. And what I'm seeing is showing me that with regards to the elevation, we're right now. These two latches are coming together at the right elevation to do what they're supposed to do. And that's the reason it's not taking a lot of force or a lot of weirdness to get it to latch. What I'm noticing though is it's coming together too tight in the middle, and there's too much of a gap between these two tubes right here. So I'm using the big monster clamp that I call the Squeezinator, and it's really got a lot of power, and it works fast, especially if I use it with my impact gun. There's a nut welded on the end where I can run it in and out. And then with just a little bit of tinkering, you know, we got it. We got it looking a whole lot better, and managed to do the adjustment without breaking any of the hinges completely off. And this is where my buddy did the right thing, getting it to me. He saw these cracks, and he got it to me before the whole thing fell apart. And that is going to save a whole lot of work because I had something I could work with. I wasn't starting with just picking up a loose door and trying to figure out how to get it back on there. Now, bear with me here a minute. I got to do a t-shirt ad. Look, I'm going to ask you once again, those of you that would be willing to buy a t-shirt to help support the NBS Welding YouTube channel, we sell these shirts for $25. If you send Tina an email at nbswelding@aol.com, she'll get with you on getting a t-shirt. We also have an Amazon storefront, and we are an ARC Captain affiliate. In the description of my videos, there are links and email addresses. You can use our ARC Captain link and get 5% off ARC Captain products. You can use our Amazon link and support the channel by letting us get a little commission on the things you buy from Amazon. You can help us out by sending Tina an email and requesting to buy a t-shirt. Whatever you can do. I've done a little extra welding with the ARCCAPTAIN MIG205PRO. I've used 30 thousandths MIG wire with a 75-25 shield gas, And outside of the areas where I saw cracks, I just ran a little extra beads. That's going to provide a little bit more metal material there and thicken the metal where it was cracking, and hopefully repair the tiny little cracks that we can't see. And also on these hooks where I saw the ends of the hooks cracking, I sort of welded in a little bit of a gusset, make that part of the material a little bit thicker there, and tried to help that out some. So the next part of this is looking at these screen guards, these sawdust guards of his, and I've got some rebar, number 4 rebar here. Rebar is sized in the number of eighths. So a 1/2 inch rebar would be a number 4. And that's what I got here that's going in that tube. And I found a good use for a crappy old drill bit that's dull. I used it to clean the dirt out of the inside of those pipes so I can slide that in there. We're going to be cutting several pieces that are exactly the same length. So here on the DeWalt 872 chop saw, I've got this one set up where I can set up a stop. That's the most efficient way to cut parts like this. If you got several to cut, you just mark one and use the stop for the rest. And now he wanted the rod sharpened, and I'm doing that with the drill press. So I'm going to chuck up the rod in the drill press and then use my big 9-inch grinder with a 7-inch sanding pad. And that's a pretty good way to turn the rod and grind at the same time, so that it makes it really easy to sharpen something like that. So we got these sharp pieces of rebar that we can slide up inside here and weld those in there. And those are going to be a lot better to stab in the ground than just the pipe. And so I'm using the drill press again here because I'm going to do a plug weld. I want to run that bar up inside of here about 4 inches to stiffen the pipe. I don't want him to have trouble with the pipe folding over at the end. So I've drilled a 1/2 inch hole about 3 inches in, and we'll clean up some rust and paint here, and we'll get that rod slided in there. And so I'll be welding around the bottom of the rod, and I'll also be plug welding that hole shut. And I think that'll help. I'm just trying to stiffen the bottom of this up so that when you stab it in the ground, it's a little stronger. And I think we're looking good here. I think this is going to be, I think this is what he wanted. And that's going to stab into the ground, I think, a whole lot better than just a piece of pipe. And it should last a lot better since it's a solid rebar. Over here where we're done welding, I hit this with some paint, and it's looking good. So I want to thank y'all for watching, and like I always say, y'all learn how to work with what you got. That way you always have everything you need.